Hi, it's Diane again, and welcome to Everyday Wisdom's Freaky Friday. As I mentioned yesterday, Archangel Michael came up with this title, as each Friday will be something that you may or may not realize has a spiritual purpose, and today's lesson is no exception. When I get visions and messages for people, often the angels and deceased loved ones show me scenes from movies that I have seen to help me understand what they are saying. If you have ever watched Crossing Over with John Edward, you know what I mean. He uses a lot of cultural references, and these are things that the angels use to help him understand the message that's trying to get across, and that's exactly what happens with me. So in a few cases, I have been shown scenes from the movie A River Runs Through It. It stars Tom Skerritt, Craig Sheffer, and Brad Pitt, and was released almost 20 years ago. But no matter when it was released, its spiritual message is completely timeless. It is the true story of two brothers growing up in Montana in the early 1900s. One brother is very quiet and hardworking, always pursuing the approval of his parents, while the other brother, played by Brad Pitt, is gentle and loving, but always has to do things his own way. He always has to push the envelope a bit, no matter who it may hurt or disappoint. For me, the angels use this movie in one of three ways. First, they may use it to identify a person in my client's life who may have hurt or disappointed them with their actions. Pitt's character, named Paul, has done many things to disappoint and hurt his parents, and his brother, actually, and yet in the end, they still find him to be a beautiful and lovable human being. The angels use this character to remind us that though the person in question may have hurt us, they still have a beauty and a lovability, as they are totally and completely divine. Regardless of their actions, they are divine. And it is not just all right to see their divinity in them, it is our spiritual quest and our spiritual responsibility to see the divinity within each person, no matter what their behavior has been. The second message that I get is a little bit tougher for our egos to take, and that's the message of acceptance. When we place expectations on others, we are bound to be hurt. Expectations are actually tricks the ego plays on us to set others up to fail us, to continue a pattern of pain and humiliation. A Course in Miracles teaches us to release the expectations of others, and just to love them as innocent and divine beings. In this movie, Paul's family has hopes for him, but you can see that their expectations were long ago released. So they have hopes, but not major expectations. And that is a good lesson for all of us to learn. The last message is that of acceptance as well, but more along the lines of allowing others to learn their lessons and not to try to change them for whatever our reason. How many times do we see a path that we think others should take and we try to force that path on them? A River Runs Through It teaches us that we each have a path, and no matter whether we agree with it or not, we have to allow others to take their path, even if it leads to self-destruction. We can try to lead by example, but trying to force someone to be something that they are not will only lead to guilt and frustration and feelings of being used on your part and anger on theirs for you trying to force your ways on them. Regardless of another's path, it is still their path. And we can love them for choosing that way, though it may not be the path you may have chosen for yourself or for them. It's the one they chose for themselves. In fact, at the end of the movie, his father is giving a sermon, and in it, he says something to the effect of, "We may not always understand those we love, but we can still love them without understanding." So just because our loved ones do not do what we think is best for them, and nor should they, we can still love them for just being them. So, A River Runs Through It is actually one of my all-time favorite movies. It has humor, it has happiness, it has a lot of familial love and acceptance, and it has just such a beautiful, beautiful message. The Angels and I really hope you enjoy it if you decide to watch it, if you've never seen it before, or if you want to see it again. Just for your information, I will be taking the weekends off from webcasts, but I'll be back for Affirmation Monday. So have a joyous weekend and remember to let love shine through your life like the sun shines in the sky. Many blessings to you all.